Hello everyone. Today we are going to continue talking about the circulatory system, and now we are going to talk about the structure of the heart. As you know, that the heart of mammal is a double circulatory system, so it is made up of 4 chambers. These are the 4 chambers or the 4 rooms: left atrium, right atrium, left ventricle, and right ventricle. Also, you should know that when you look at left and right, they are opposite to yours. Your right side is the left for the heart, and your left side is the right for the heart, such as you looking at a mirror. So, a left side carries oxygenated blood, while the right side carries deoxygenated blood. So the left side is rich with oxygen, while the right side is rich with CO2. Also, you should know that in order for these 2 types of blood not to get mixed, that's why here is a septum, the shaded area that I shaded with a black. It is the septum that separates oxygenated from deoxygenated blood. Now, first of all, the blood should come from the lungs to the heart. And the blood that is coming from the lungs, it is carried with oxygenated blood. Whenever we say pulmonary relates to lungs. Vein, the blood vessels that carry blood into the heart. Vein, in. We remember in, so into the heart. Artery carries the blood away from the heart. You can see the arrows here, the direction of the blood. The artery is always out, the vein always in. Now, the pulmonary vein, it carries oxygenated blood to the heart. So where should it go? It should go to the left side. So here is oxygenated blood to the left side. Now, this oxygenated blood is carried by pulmonary vein to the left atrium, then from left atrium to the left ventricle. Now, the left atrium, in order to receive blood, it should be relaxed. Once it wants to pump blood to the ventricle, it squeezes or contracts, pushing blood down. Now, in order for the blood not to go back, we have valves. These valves are located between atria and ventricles. Atria, by the way, the plural of atrium. We don't say atriums, okay? But we can say ventricles. It's regular plural. But for atria, it is Latinized or a Latin formula. So we should say atria plural, 1 for atrium. So now, once the atrium squeezes on the blood, it pushes the blood down to the ventricle. For the blood not to go back and to go only in one direction, we have valves. As you see here, the valve. We have valves between atrium and ventricle that are called atrioventricular valves. We have 2, of course, between right side and left side, between left atrium and ventricle and right atrium and ventricle. The one which is between right atrium and ventricle, it's called tricuspid valve. Also, you can say atrioventricular. Atrioventricular is correct. And if you want to be specific between which side, you can say tricuspid. And bicuspid is also between the left and the right. here is, instead of mitral valve, you can say bicuspid. You can say bicuspid. It's easier for you. Mitral valve, yes. Bicuspid also, yes. Atrioventricular, yes. So in order to make it easier for you, remember that atrioventricular are found between atria and ventricles. Okay? Now, once the blood goes to the ventricle, now it should go back where? To the artery, to go out of the heart. So it goes to which artery? We said artery means always out. Okay, let's make it clear for you here. The blood goes from atrium, ventricle, then to the aorta. The aorta is the main artery to the body. Is the main artery to the body. As you notice, the aorta, it's made up of 3 branches. No need to know for where are they going, but I'll tell you that one is going to the chest and arms, one is going to the head or to the brain, and one is going to the lower body part. So aorta is the main body, the main artery that is going to the body that carries oxygenated blood. Also, as you notice, we have another valves which are found between ventricles and the main arteries. These valves are called semilunar valves. They are called semilunar because they look like the lunar phase of the moon. And to be specific, you can mention their names. You can say that the one which is between aorta, the main artery, and the left ventricle, it is called aortic valve, since it is between aorta and ventricle. Or you can say semilunar valves. Both are correct. Now let's talk about what happens to the blood after it goes to the body. Now all the cells have been respired, so what they do now, they release or get rid of carbon dioxide waste products. They are collected now by a special vein back to the heart. Now this vein is called vena cava. This vein is called vena cava. This is vena cava here. We have superior and inferior vena cava. When we say superior, which comes from the upper body parts, or inferior from lower body parts. Now, what happens to deoxygenated blood? It goes to the right atrium, right ventricle, yes. Then to the out of the body, it should go through lungs. So it goes again to pulmonary artery. It is going back to the lungs through artery. Artery because it is out of the heart. So pulmonary because it is out of the heart to the lungs. I need you to notice something, that pulmonary vein has 2 branches, from the left side and the right side, from the left lung and the right lung, while pulmonary artery has only 1 branch. So this is actually a very big difference between pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein, in order to distinguish and identify which of which. Okay, so if you want to talk about the path of the blood, it is going from pulmonary vein, oxygenated, to the left side, which is oxygenated side. Then it is going from atrium, ventricle, aorta to the body. It is collected from the body back by inferior vena cava to the right side, right atrium, right ventricle, and pulmonary artery, then to the lungs. Don't forget to talk about valves and their role. You may ask about the role of the valve. To describe the role of the valve, you have to know 2 ideas, because mainly it's 2 marks. The first one, that the valve it closes to prevent backflow of blood. The second mark, to make sure that the blood goes in one direction. Okay? Also, you have to notice something about the structure of the heart, that the wall of the ventricle